The Abby and Libby Memorial Park online fundraiser has reached its $50,000 goal. We checked this morning and found over the last few weeks they raised nearly $54,000 for the park that's just north of Delphi. They had until August to raise the money, and now that they did, the state will match it. The money raised will help build an amphitheater and new community complex. It will house 3 baseball fields, 2 playgrounds, and picnic shelters with benches. Will all be
This Saturday, volunteers turned out in Carroll County to bring light to a memorial park.
These light poles are going up to allow for night games at the Abby and Libby Memorial Park in Carroll County. About 13 light poles donated from Purdue University have been refurbished and refitted with LED light.
Big donation is making it possible to light up the night at the Abby and Libby Memorial Park in Delphi. The local chapter of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers donated the field lights. The total cost of the lights is over $85,000, according to Mike Patty, Libby's grandfather, who helped organize the donation.
Hundreds of bikers rode through 3 different Indiana counties today for the 6th annual Abby and Libby Benefit Ride. It's raising money for safety and lighting improvements at the Abby and Libby Memorial Softball Park. The softball park and the girls' names, which the bikers raised money for, opened last summer in Carroll County.
Have monies for a reward. I believe we're in upwards to around $41,000, with $25,000 being donated by the FBI, $10,000 by the Indiana Packers, a local business. The Andersons have donated $5,000. Indiana Lafayette Savings and Loans has donated $1,000. They do that because they care.
The reward to find the killers is now more than $210,000.
Pretty incredible. The fund got a huge boost today thanks to former Colts punter Pat McAfee and Colts owner Jim Irsay.
The reward is now $325,000 for anyone with information that leads to the arrest and conviction.
This has been a big month for friends and family who've been planning and working on the Abby and Libby Memorial Park on the outskirts of Delphi, Indiana.
AAA coming on board and offering the playground to us is just huge.
Over the coming weeks, they will finish installing a large swing set, playground borders with safety surfacing, and an all-ages outdoor fitness playground.
A triumph with the simple crack of a bat. A trail built with help from the NBA and the Indiana Pacers Foundation. An outdoor fitness area for all ages. And a playground donated and built by AAA State of Play so that kids can be kids. This is triumph out of the worst kind of tragedy. In February 2017, 2 teenage friends, Abigail Williams and Liberty German, were murdered as they hiked near their Delphi, Indiana homes. The case remains unsolved. Heartbreak has turned into a mission for this community and for the girls' families, with donations of money, equipment, and tons of labor. This day, the NBA came to town for the dedication of a mile-long fitness trail through the park and adjacent woods, courtesy an NBA Legacy All-Star grant. It's a sweeping field of green with 3 ball fields, shelters, support buildings, playground, fitness area, and the trail. Hope, health, and happiness have a new place to play in Delphi, Indiana.
Five years have passed since a fire at this home in Flora killed 4 girls. Investigators concluded this was an arson. but no one has ever been arrested. 4 sisters ages 5 to 11 could not be rescued from the fire that November morning.
Every time she steps outside of her house and sees the boarded up windows on the house next door, Lisa Boyd is reminded of those 4 sisters. Some, though, have questioned the attention and resources the Delphi case has received compared to the one in Flora.
I think it's a shame that these girls aren't getting the justice that they deserve.
The sticky note is of those 4 little girls, to include Abby and Libby.
State police could offer no update in the investigation, but the case is still open.
Yeah, the Crime Stoppers reward is now up to $5,000 for any information. Right now, if you want to help this family and increase the reward, is to send a check to the Indiana Department of Homeland.
At that house that still stands back there, the state has a $5,000 reward, and the people of this tiny town of Flora, the ones who are meeting in there tonight, they have raised $20,000 for a reward. David McAnally, Channel 13.
First, the case was considered an accident. Then it was ruled arson. Then a private fire investigator claimed the conclusions were wrong. For the family, it has been a painful, frustrating, and confusing ordeal.
And I just think that when you make mistakes, you just take your time and figure them out and let us know something. Not let us find out on the news that this happened or that happened. We found out it was arson on the news.
News that the death of 4 young girls was not an accident, but murder.
The reward for information leading to the girl's killer is less than $10,000. Community members are getting ready to sell cookbooks to raise more money.
The mother of 4 girls killed in a house fire in Flora 2 years ago says this case deserves more attention.
Galen Rose and her family are speaking out tonight to 13 Investigates about what they call a disparity in efforts by the Indiana State Police.
Our Sandra Chapman tells us tonight why the family believes they've been left in the dark.
Thousands of miles away from Flora and the home where her 4 little girls died, Galen Rose is breaking a long silence.
Because I miss my girls a lot, but I just be trying to stay strong. I feel like I've been left in the dark.
She's talking by phone about her girls and what her family sees as a disparity in effort to get answers about the murders of 2 Delphi girls and the fire in November 2016 that killed her 4 girls. Leslie Anderson is visiting Indiana. She's Galen's aunt and lives in California, where Galen and her father also now reside.
Not in Carroll County, not in the state of Indiana. I'm appalled that the state of Indiana has not done more.
Hard words from a family who claims state police investigators are less responsive to the plight of their girls.
The investigation is national.
It wasn't the first time. 10 months after the Delphi case, the state police superintendent was on national TV talking about Abby and Libby. The widespread attention brought in more than 26,000 tips. But what about Kiana, Kiera, Cariel, and Kiani? Galen's father says there are no updates, privately or publicly. The family says state police simply showed up on the 2-year anniversary of the fire.
It's a hard pill to swallow. You got 4 dead girls. You got 4 babies. How will the other family feel?
And if we just shut up, they'll shut up. And then it'll go away. And that'll be the end of that. We're not going to go away.
A message Galen echoes from thousands of miles away.
We still gonna fight the fight no matter what. I just want more answers. I want my babies out there. I want everybody to know we fighting to try to figure out what happened.
The family of Galen Rose is working on a meeting with Indiana State Police investigators. We have also reached out to see what, if any, additional steps will be taken to help prompt more tips in this case.
Sergeant Cam Riley told me that whatever happens to this home right behind me is up to the owner. I asked him if the home needs to stay untouched because of the ongoing investigation, and he says no. He says ISP has not asked the owner of the home to keep it in the condition that it's currently in. Take a look at your screen. This is what the home looks like 3 years after the fire that killed 4 sisters. There is still visible damage on the exterior of the home, and there are even old toys sitting on the front porch, which I could only assume belonged to the girls. The windows are all boarded up, and the front porch is falling apart. The people living in Flora want something done about it.
I've heard different people in the community say, like, oh, we just need to tear it down, and hopefully then it'll help people heal. I hope we can have answers quick, and so it's justice for the mom and the girls.
I made a call to the owner of the building, and my message was not returned. It's incredible to see how many people were involved in this case, and a lot of them are not involved in it any longer.
Indiana NAACP State Conference President Barbara Bowling Williams says they've been trying to help with the investigation.
You would think that a crime of this magnitude would not let people who have the power to find out what happened, rest.
Bowling-Williams says the NAACP reaches out to law enforcement regularly to follow up. She says investigators continue to stay tight-lipped.
After all these years, why can't you discuss it in details? Perhaps using the media might help continue to shine some light on it and to get some resolution. If nothing else, these children, these girls need some peace. They need some resolution.
Until that time comes, Hammond says the house is just a reminder of a tragic crime that hasn't been solved.
A Flora arson reward fund will soon be donated to the town's volunteer fire department. As News 18's Joe Paul reports, some members of the volunteer fundraising group want to see the money go elsewhere.
The Flora Four Angels Committee has raised about $18,000 since then for information leading to an arrest. But under an agreement with the committee's umbrella nonprofit organization, the Flora Community Club, that money, after 5 years, must be donated to the Flora Monroe Township Volunteer Fire Department. Clendening is now pleading with fire officials to donate that money to a separate state reward fund. In a statement, a lawyer representing the Flora Community Club said the organization is legally obligated to distribute the funds as promised. Indiana State Police confirmed the Flora Four Angels Fund is separate from a $5,000 reward fund handled by Indiana State Police. The fire remains under investigation, and anyone with information